realize that sometimes we are struck or we are stunned by a blow in life, something that knocks the wind out of us? Have you ever fallen down and the wind was knocked out of you? That's a scary thing. You can't breathe, you can't talk, you can't cry. You're just trying to catch your breath, amen? But we all know if you don't panic and you allow your body to recover, you'll be all right. Now, when you experience pain and trauma, allow yourself time to recover and then proceed. Even if you can't move as fast as you were before, the key is don't stay there.
I'm laughing, y'all, because listen, I just finished reading Out of Ashes by Sanjanique Lee Guns. When I tell you that book had me on an emotional roller coaster, I was excited, I was hurt, I was disappointed, I was encouraged, I felt victorious, I was mad. I mean, it was just all over the place. But most of all, I was thankful. Thankful to know that God was still there with her. Through all of it, he was still there. Her stories, her lessons, the intentional words. God, everything, just the little small things, making you think, making you write, making you reflect. It gave you a glimpse of how easy it is to see the beauty of someone, but never know the darkness. Listen, the book will be available starting November the 14th on Amazon. Get ready to get yours. It will bless you tremendously. Do you hear me? It will bless you tremendously. I heard a saying once that in order to rise out of the ashes, you must burn. Think about that. Read the book. Think about it. Read the book. I am Sharon Grant, the proud reader of Out of Ashes, and I encourage you to get ready to order yours.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to E3 with John Guns. It's a beautiful, amazing another week. How about that? It's a beautiful, amazing another week, and I'm so excited. Typically, I come on by myself and I share some principles and ideas, but I decided today to bring on a guest. Yes, a guest. But she's not really a guest. She's my wife, my boo thing, my lover, my best friend, my other mother, my biggest supporter, you know, all that. She's all of that. She's all of that. She's my ride or die. And today we are continuing what has become a whirlwind 24 hours for her. On yesterday, she preached a magnificent message, and she released her new book entitled Out of Ashes. It's amazing. All of us in the family have read it, and literally, you know, our son-in-law said he read it in like 3 hours. I mean, it's so compelling. So welcome, author Sanjanique Guns. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Bishop?
I'm doing very well. It's good to see you and hear your voice and all that kind of good stuff. So you just released your book.
I did.
How does that feel?
A mixture. I have all kinds of emotions. I'm relieved. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where God takes this project. So I'm really excited.
Good. So, you know, I got a chance to watch this. It took how long to write this book?
Actually, after I really sat down and said, okay, hey, this is it. I have to start. It took me a year and a half.
A year and a half to write this book.
Yeah.
Why did it take so long?
I think it took me so long because I kind of struggled with different parts of it. It did bring back negative emotions, and it took me some time to really start and restart. There were just a lot of times where I had to figure out exactly what God wanted me to say, what he wanted me to reveal. what he didn't want me to reveal. It took me that long to get it exactly how I felt it needed to be released into the world.
Sharon Grant, our church administrator, in her commercial, said some very interesting things in terms of the book, that it was a roller coaster for her of emotions.
Yeah.
And you just shared that. Why did you write this book?
I wrote this book basically because I wanted to be transparent. I felt that me sharing my story would help and influence other women to share their story and to realize that God is a keeper. And regardless of what we deal with, what we go through, he's still in the plan. We just have to trust him. He's doing things, he's allowing things for particular reasons, for our growth, for our maturity, just for sometimes just for reasons we don't understand. And I wanted just women to understand, no matter how low you go or how low you feel, that there's still a way to rise again. And honestly, dealing with different women in ministry, I've shared portions of my story, and I would always get the response, you need to write a book. You need to write a book. You need to share that. That helped me. That blessed me. And I think after years of hearing that, I knew that I couldn't run from it any longer. Your story is a story of triumph, but it's a story of trauma. How do you see this book helping someone who's dealing with rejection and pain and all of that kind of stuff? How does what's in this book help someone with that? Usually when you're dealing with trauma, as women, we sometimes blame ourselves. We try to figure out what we did to get here. And yes, sometimes we make mistakes and sometimes it's all our fault. But it's time for us to realize that we don't have to sit in the shame or sit in the consequences of the decisions, that we have to have the strength and the courage to turn it over to God, and that there's a purpose for every place that we sit in. And we just have to allow God to do what God does best, which is he's a keeper, he's a sustainer, and we all have a destiny, but we have to make sure that we allow God to get us there, even if we take some wrong turns along the way.
You have used the word keeper at least 3 times. That appears to be an important, not just an important part of this book, but an important part of your own life. What does that mean, and how do you believe that should be projected to other people as they're going through the seasons where they feel like they're not being kept?
Honestly, I use keeper, but sometimes I use deliverer. There were so many times where I felt that I was alone, and I know how that feels to feel like you have, even with people around you, you still feel like there's no hope. And I had to learn that the reason why I felt alone in the midst of people was because I was supposed to be looking to God for my help and my strength.
Wow.
And there's only so much people can do. And honestly, I had to realize that my strength and everything I need is in him. And this is really why I wrote this book. I want people to realize that that's where your strength is. And if you're going through something, you need to try to figure out why you're going through it. What lessons are you supposed to learn?
Wow, that's amazing. So what are some of the other lessons that Out of Ashes teaches? What are some of the things that, as you were writing, you said, okay, this is one of these life principles that I need to communicate out of this book? What were some of those principles?
One, for instance, would be that there's nothing too big for God.
Mm.
Um, as we live, we learn and we mature. And looking back on some of the things that happened in my life, I would, of course, do them differently. And I think I felt like I needed to share that to know that okay, you mature with age, and so even though you made some mistakes, you can't wallow in it.
Mm.
And I want women to understand: get up, brush yourself off, and keep it moving. Trust,
Mm.
trust that God has you. So
you you have often said to me um, that we should have no regrets.
mhm,
Um, and of course, you speak that from the present conclusion, which is
right,
us being together and the
mhm,
life that God has given us.
absolutely.
What does that mean in light of? How do you encourage someone who's going through some trauma, some pain, some disappointment with that phrase, no regrets?
I don't regret any of it because it made me who I am.
Hmm.
Obviously, I feel like I needed all of those circumstances to learn to I wouldn't have had to seek God the way I had to seek him if I wasn't going through what I was going through. And
Mm.
so that part alone has caused me to say it was worth it. Just knowing God the way I know him. Um, I wouldn't have had a reason to travail, to learn about fasting, to learn about um, really seeking God in the Word and really studying. Of course, we want to say, yeah, I'm a Christian and I read the Bible, but do you really read the Bible?
Mm.
I think that none of it was for naught. I it was painful. It was nothing I would wish on anyone, but I know I am the Sanjanique Lee Guns that I am because of everything that God allowed. Now, the enemy wanted me to drown in it, wanted me to just throw in the towel, but that wasn't what it was designed to do. So the growth in itself is reason to say no regrets.
That's powerful. So all things work together for good to them who love God.
Yes, yes.
Um, and you found the all things that work together for good. Coming out of this moment. Yesterday you preached a wonderful message.
Thank you.
Coming out of this season of writing, of creativity, of revisitation,
Mhm.
who are you now coming out of this season?
Who am I now? Um, I'm someone who listens. I really feel like God gave me or showed me several signs going through my journey that I didn't, um, I guess I ignored them, for lack of a better term. Red flags, stop signs, yield signs. And because of my immaturity and wanted what I wanted, um, yeah, I just ignored them. And so I think I'm wiser. Life has a way of making you wiser.
Yeah,
And, we often say, people say, experience is the best teacher. No, a teacher is the best teacher. So
I've always said that.
if this book can teach you what to do and what not to do, then hey, if it helps one woman, then it's accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
So, why should someone buy your book? Okay, I want you right now to look in the eyes of those who are watching E3 today and tell them why they need to buy this book.
This book is a book of a woman's story where things happen. Some things were my fault, some things were not. And I want this to be something that encourages women, girls and women everywhere, to trust the process, to understand that God allows things to make us better. We don't always see it in the moment. The pain, the frustration, the things that we deal with, they don't outweigh our blessings. And in order to find yourself and to get to that place where you're allowing the blessings to supersede the issues or the problems in your life, it's easier to see someone's journey and understand, okay, if she was able to do it, I can too. God is not a respecter of persons. And I want someone to read this book and realize, okay, hey, if she made it out of the ashes, then I can too. And that's really the whole purpose of it, to kind of share and find yourself in various chapters. And in this book, I allow you to reflect after each chapter and see, okay, where do you find yourself? How can you be better after reading this chapter? And it's all about being better. I want women to be better, to understand there is life after mistakes.
Final question. So what's next for you, Sanjanique Lee Guns?
What's next for me? There's a lot of nexus. This book was actually written with the intention of becoming a screenplay. The way it's written, you can almost see the scenes in your head, and as you read it, you'll be able to see that. I'm not really sure. I'm waiting on the Lord to show me exactly the best way to do that. But in the meantime, I am enrolling in seminary. I will become a student. I've realized that God has so many things in store, and I have to be trained in the seminary to go further. So that's going to be the next two things that I'll be working on.
Phenomenal. I want to thank you for this. I want to thank you for taking time, not only to share your thoughts and your insights, but I want to say thank you for writing this book. It's been a joy watching you finish.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Right.
It's a blessing. Thank you for your support, your love. There's no way I would have completed this without you. Are you writing? The encouragement from you and the girls and from Claude was amazing. I couldn't have done it without you. So y'all deserve some of this credit.
Well, we are super proud of you, and to be the mother of 3 girls, they get to see a marvelous example of strength and relentlessness and grace and beauty.
Thank you.
And so I'm very proud of you. So everybody, go right now to Amazon.com and purchase the book. We have a goal for her to be a best-selling author. So in order to do that, we need you to not only purchase the book now, but encourage others to purchase the book. Listen, women groups, women ministries, purchase the book and as a group walk through it, right? Take advantage of this book. It's not just it's not a tell-all, right? It's not a tell-all book. It's a book that has such an oil on it to help heal you. And I'm excited about being able to participate in the journey of Out of Ashes. I'm over there in the cut. I'm over there in the cut, but I got some pom-poms, and I'm rooting on Sanjanique Lee Guns. So thank you all so much. Please go order the book. Be blessed by the sermon yesterday. It was amazing. And make yourself available to the work that God is doing through her. Have an amazing day, an incredible night, and an even better week. And remember, it's about living a life where you are empowered, educated, and equipped to live your best life.
Yes.
And truly, Sanjanique Guns is doing that. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. And remember this: don't waste this season. Seize the moment, because it's the only one you got. And I promise you, gotta honor it. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week. And thank you, one day, Dr. Sanjanique Guns. I'm already working on the D-Min or the PhD. Amen. Praise the Lord. All right, y'all. Take care.